safe by saying Mr. and Mrs. McDonald?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
40 years.
Yeah,
All right,
I remember.
ooh-ah. 42.
We first started working on changing the world. Then we said, we should get married so we can do it together.
All right now.
And so we started off at Chicago State University. When we left Chicago State University, we came to San Diego with the San Diego State University Minority Business Development Center. We went from Minority Business Development Center to 22 years this year at the LMU as the School of Business Administration.
Fantastic.
And we took that downtown and we brought $75 million to 50 companies.
Next week, I'll try to bring what I have from that meeting that we had over at the thing. I'll blow the dust off some old files and dig
Well,
it
it looks
out.
the same as it does now.
It's still the
All
same?
we do is just change the date.
Yes.
And let me just say, the reason we were having meetings there is because they've done research that shows over 100 years of fear for black folks in America. What has really been done and how, the government and white society has worked feverishly to keep us down. Okay, and so it shows that, and it also
I want to say
shows
something that might
psychiatry.
be nasty, but we are adults. In Louisiana, there was a scientist. He was working in Louisiana at the hospital, and they was asking him, Tulane University, and they was asking this scientist and guy that I got a chance to meet before he died, L. Rod Hubbard, was there. He was actually the spook who sat by the door, even though he was a white man.
That's it. I don't know who haven't seen that movie, but you need to see
Okay.
that movie.
Spook who sat by the door.
Here's what went down.
It's about
the nurses-
trained in FBI.
The nurses asked the doctor at Tulane University, he said, how do you get all these guinea pigs? And, he said, niggas are cheaper than cats.
Whoa.
And they said right there, this is because you hear so many people going against, I'm not a Scientologist, I'm science and technology. But if you understand what happens when you're a guinea pig and niggas are cheaper than cats, it means that we're still suffering from the hole that they drill in our head. And so you see it on the street. And so if we don't understand that we're creating a parallel world, because it all came from the old country. And in old country, we look at Frankenstein. They actually put people together to see how we can save white people. So if we're closest to white people as white people are. So if we're cheaper than cats, what does that mean? That means that we're trying to save white people from having all the diseases that they have. So if we are that cheap, then look at the outcome. Just go downtown and see the bustling downtown and see black men like this.
And then
Niggas are
Well,
cheap.
here's what's really amazing about
lynchings and how people sit there, with their kids and everybody else, taking all these black people, for nothing.
And like, see,
It was
these
a part.
30 years to get the legislation to change that ordinary citizens can kill you. Now,
Well, let me address something really quickly because a lot of these things have happened to us and we're all subjected to it all.
That's
But
why
the
you're doing
face
a
of a
parallel world.
whole bunch of this
Yep.
stuff is changing. The homeless is not just black people put out
No.
of their houses.
It's families.
It is
It's
families.
families. Yes.
It's veterans.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
white
Yes.
people.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
Asian people.
But there's
It's
a
everything. So
1%.
now
But
the
there's a
interest
1%.
here is about humanity.
That's it.
Yes.
Now,
it's
if
one
you're in a
race.
parallel world that I've created since I was 6, my dad and I created a parallel world. Let me tell you what it is. It is the evolution of intelligence that we have that was destroyed, that we picked up before they destroyed the physical world of ours. So if we pick up the intelligence of 1921, for instance, there was a room just like this, maybe between trees, without a roof.
Well, it's very basic.
It's very basic,
And
and
it's
that's what
very-
this gentleman
yes.
brings.
And that's-
This gentleman was talking about very basic truths.
That's right.
And
I
that's
agree
what
with
we have to do. If USC is an educational institution, then how in the hell do we live like we do? If it's it must not be an effective educational institution if all the money they get, they don't build incubators for underserved people.
They don't, and
So
they
we
just
build them.
awarded
We
$19
build
million.
them.
Just
Yes.
awarded $19 million.
Yeah,
How much of that is going to go into programs?
Well, it would go
I don't
if we
know.
become 1,600 plus self-employed number owners at $1,000 a month, and it's play money.
We can change it. We can
And
change
we
it.
will cooperate to compete for the money that we need to keep going so we can fuel everybody.
Right, but I just don't want
No, it won't.
the
It won't.
other.
It's a movie.
I just
It's a
don't
movie.
want our guests to think that this is a black movie.
No, it's not.
Okay?
Why not?
Because this is about two things. This is about teaching people how to survive and unlearning.
Yeah.
You know, because the way things used to be done is just not effective anymore. And all the information that's out here in the world, there is no reason why we cannot succeed.
We will
Because
succeed.
people are fed up, and the sad part about it is fuses are really short.
Yeah.
You know, and so while they're focusing on disarming America and giving reasons why we can't exclude anybody, should the military need to go in on someone, there's no need to exclude, no reason to exclude anyone, hence the woman who shot somebody today. So now women are now excluded from being someone that they should step back when it comes to locking and loading.
And abroad, we have children soldiers, so children.
And that's
on the
next.
front.
You watch. Some child is going to do something and do something to affect a lot of people, whereby children won't even be able to be excluded anymore.
Well, you know,
Because
you
back
can't-
when they were
Can I
hijacking,
say this
when the
one more
Middle
time,
East
and
was
I'll say it
hijacking
one more
planes.
time for this reason.
Hey, hold on, real quick. When they were hijacking planes in the 70s, they were letting black people off the plane before they hijacked the plane. So they made sure that they put somebody in power, like Colin Powell, so that now when something like this happens, black people will not be excluded anymore because they are part of it all. That's why, another reason why Condoleezza Rice was there, so that she can be another black face. So there's no reason to exclude not only the black man, but the black woman. That black military guy that they found, they said they found burnt up in the hill somewhere, he was another black guy who actually, somebody that they empowered, who did not agree with what they said, went off and did something contrary to what he was supposed to do, and then all of a sudden was sought after. So now again we got black military who cannot be excluded. I bet you a child's going to do something like this.
Well, let me say this. That's how come I operate from a parallel world where black folks are at the table with everybody else. See, we're not at the table. If we're at the table of the future, are we? We are what we call, as Dr. King said, he said, we turn the other cheek. We have never picked up a weapon at no one until we were militarily killed in Vietnam. See, all the people that I come from is from Vietnam. I was a TV cameraman, video engineer in Vietnam, but I didn't go to Vietnam. They told me that I was so valuable because I was like Goldman Powell. They said my dad was in World War I, my brother was in World War II, Purple Heart, my other brother was in the Korean War, Purple Heart, Korean War. My two other brothers were paratroopers in peacetime, and they said, you're going to be a CIA agent. And they made me a TV camera and video engineer. They didn't tell me they were going to make me a CIA agent until I was about to get out. And that's when they took me to the Pentagon, and they told me, they said, look, here's what we want you to do. We want you to play a pimp. Go to Richmond, Virginia, and bust the people there. I said, no. They dropped me off at Robert E. Lee Cemetery, and I had to get back at 4:30. At 3 o'clock, I was running through the cemetery, and if you've ever been at Robert E. Lee Cemetery, every time you pass by a monument, it speaks to you. So I was running with General Lee saying, run, my boy, I got you. and so when I got
I'm glad that's what he said, 'cause I thought he was going to say something else.
When we had morning at 4:30, you know what? Guess what? Guess what? I won. I got out. And then they took me to the Pentagon where we filmed them giving AWOL soldiers crack, cocaine. When I met Tonia, and she can verify this, I came to her and said, this was in 1971 when I got out of the service. I said, let's go, she lived in the project, she lived in Capri Green. I said, let's go and tell everyone that don't take this white powder, because we did an experiment at the Pentagon where they gave the people who were getting out, they gave them marijuana. After they gave them marijuana, they saw that we wouldn't leave our families, we wouldn't do anything like that. But when they gave them crack, the first time they gave them crack as an experiment, this is 1971, the first time they gave, because that's how come they tried to kill me afterwards, because they had me sign a 10-year agreement that I wouldn't let nobody know anything. And so when I came home, I told Tonia, and we went around to the projects at my
expense, life.
My life on the line,
Right.
and Tonia was too smart and beautiful to realize that her life was on the line too. So we were telling these people, they were throwing guns over our heads. I was a cameraman. Only thing that saved me, they said I was like Shaq. Hush your mouth. And really, I'm just being serious. And Tonia's family really was the kind of prototype for good times. There was actually a JJ in her building. And he's the one that gave me the title of chef. And he used to walk around just like this. You need to meet the Jacksons, her family. And she, none of the guys would mess with Tonia because they called Miss Property. Because her mama sent her to a Catholic school and she talked proper English.
Miss Property.
They said I can have her.
You talk too proper.
And I'm just giving you some facts because I've been at this all my life. So don't think that Blackstone Rangers. I hired them at $500 so that we can do shows at the Regal Theater.
All
Nobody
right.
was paying them.
All right.
Everybody was saying, okay, y'all should just. I say, hey, why don't y'all be the Andy Frame ushers and here's $500. And so I was able to do shows at the Regal Theater because we thought of them as human beings. So this is stuff that we have done all our lives. Believe it or not, I've never worked with nobody.
Nice.
All I've been is a consultant to wealth creators. We work with the man who created MCI. The first company he created, when we were with him, it was called BTC. I work with Clement Stone. Clement Stone is the father of motivational speakers because he paid for it. So if you see Aon, the tallest building downtown, I work with the man who created the insurance company that became.
Clement Stone?
Yeah. 4'7", lived in Winnetka, Illinois, in a castle with a drawstring. And so he had so where motivational speaking came from was the $1 Million Round Table. And so if you sat in on the $1 Million Round Table, that's motivational speaking. That's not motivational speaking what Tony Robbins is giving you. He's just a church, he's just a preacher without a church. And he just gets your money. And then we hired all these people to be motivational speakers. Guess what? They get paid. So that's a ministry without a church. But if you want to get paid, create a cooperative infrastructure. Create collaboration amongst us with a few dollars put in, and then we leverage it with this government of ours, because they'll give you dollar for dollar. Any money that we leverage is play money. And that's why the beautiful machine that she has, I'm in love with that machine. The only reason why is because you can create building after building after building that we should own. Institutions first.
Absolutely.
See, players come and go. Legends come and go. But the Bus family just take the trophy and have their stadium. We should own the stadium as a group.
Yes.
Why are we always trying to be a player? Why are we on that?
He's new to the game.
Yeah.